How we doing, everyone? Welcome to the party. Not so much of a party today, because I am still sore from our last party on Friday. Hey Dark, how you doing today? Did I tell you yet how much my freaking legs are killing me from Friday's stream? Like, my calves are wicked tight today. They have been all weekend. And I made the mistake of going to the beach last night and walking around, which did not help. Come on, bud. Come on up. Whoop, whoop. Easy. Careful. You're good. Are you still mad at me because I gave you a bath? Is that what's going on? Yeah. You still smell like wet dog. Alright, for those of you just joining us, we are doing an honor mode playthrough with Gale as our Origins character, although that was just by my personal preference. I'm not recommending that you necessarily pick him. What I do recommend that you follow along with are most of my story options. I'll tell you the ones that really matter or the ones that are optional in order to get us to beating honor mode. And I highly recommend you follow my party build as well, because that is going to be ultimately the most important thing in getting us to the end of the game. We are going to go to the Blighted Village today. That's what our goal is. And I do recommend you follow along with me here, because we are not quite powerful enough for some of the content there. We are powerful enough for most of it, but not all of it. And it's probably better to just play it safe, since we're not quite at the level that we need to be, or want to be, to explore a majority of it. So, that being said, I need to figure out where the hell I'm going, because I don't know why I was going south there. And we're going to head over this way towards the Blighted Village. Now, I might not have enough time during this session directly to go over everything in the Blighted Village, because it's actually, there's a lot going on over there. If we happen to run out of time, then I will pick it up on the next stream. I know tonight we're doing Pillars of Eternity 2. I normally don't even stream on Tuesdays. Or on Tuesdays, jeez. I normally don't stream on Sundays because I don't normally play Dungeons and Dragons, but we're down a player, so we decided to take this week off, which means I get like the next 2.5 hours roughly to go ahead and stream for a change, which will be nice. Are you worth money? You're worth money. For those of you that have not seen me play this game before, I am kind of OCD when it comes to picking up alchemy ingredients and items and stuff. I like saving as much money as possible and examining everything. It's something that I recommend that you do, because there's no point in rushing through honor mode. The entire idea is to be patient, take your time, make smart choices. So if you're going to be following along with me, that's just something that you want to get used to. But more to the point of what I was trying to say before is that even if I don't...
For your thoughts.
I didn't even select you. What are you doing, Karlak? If I don't end up finishing the Blighted Village today, which is probably likely, then you can find this video on YouTube, and whenever the next time I go live and do this, you can catch that video on YouTube as well. That way you get the full Blighted Village experience. Kind of OCD. Oh, do you know I am? You've seen me do this. You know how I can be. It gets pretty wild. I sit there forever trying to figure out every little bucket and everything. I won't do it forever, but this early in the game, I do think it's important to take your time and just verify that you're getting the most out of the game, because it is just more helpful that way. So now that we have Scratch in the camp, you can come over here. Feel free to grab Gomwick's stuff. He has a couple letters that we're not going to read right this second. If you're just joining us, what I like to do is I like to grab all those letters, all the books that I find throughout the game, and I read them at the end of the stream or towards the end of the stream. And if I happen to run out, then I'll read them during the next stream. But what we're not going to do is interrupt the flow of the game to sit there and read them, although I do highly recommend that you read them through your own playthrough, because there are some seriously cool story points and backstory informations and things that you can learn and things that you can find that can just be that are just awesome. So do that if you can.
That's curious.
That is the alternate entrance into the Owlbear Cave, if you're curious. If you want to go into that and see what's down there. Now, before I actually even bother going into the Blighted Village proper, I'm going to go up this way, because there's some more stuff to loot, stuff to grab. That we missed when we grabbed Karlak, because there was no need to go this way. Now, we've already grabbed this in this playthrough, but just as a reminder, there's a skeleton that's hidden in the bush right here that you can get a magical ring on that I highly recommend.
Hey, we're still going after those paladins, right? Can't leave Zariel's bruisers roaming the coast.
Don't worry, Karlak. We will absolutely go after them. We just need to level up a little bit first.
Good news. Can't wait to see them finished.
Come over here, grab some more alchemy. I'm kind of surprised she didn't talk to us about that sooner, but here we are. Arrow of acid, we'll grab that, we'll grab the gold. The more I'm thinking about it, we might not even make it to the
I'd love to,
blighted
thanks.
village. We probably will. We'll probably like just step inside of it. Grab that bloodstone.
Some old forgotten bones.
We'll send this to Shadowheart, and we'll grab these things to sell.
Fella's allies.
Hey, thank you for the follow, VHS. I appreciate it, man. You can head this way. You can jump across that gap there to go back into the village. I'm not going to go that way just yet. We're going to head back there a little bit later on. Feel free to do it then now, though. There's nothing that would stop you from doing that. You don't have to feel like you have to follow along with me verbatim every step of the way. But it's just my personal preference to explore that later. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't believe there's anything down here, but if you just want to, if you're, again, OCD like me and want to fill out the map, you can swing down there. Literally does nothing for you. I don't even know why that's included, but there we are. This book, I think, is hilarious, so read that later. I will be reading that later, but I recommend you read it as well on your own. Now, be careful going this way. We actually don't want to go too far yet. Can I do... There we go. Yeah, we don't want to hit trigger that yet. So what I'm going to recommend that you do here... you know what? We're going to skip it. No, sometimes what I do is I disconnect Gale, and I have him walk over this way, grab some things, and grab the waypoint that's over there. But if you screw up, you can trigger this event, and if you trigger that event, then you need to deal with it right away. Otherwise, it doesn't go very well. So for now, we're just going to skip it. We're going to head this way instead, and we're going to deal with these hyenas. Now, there's two ways of handling this fight. You can do what I'm going to do, which is probably arguably the worst way to do it, and that's by going in here and dealing with the hyenas as they are, but you're risking one of them running away and triggering these guys, and if these guys join the fray, it gets much more difficult. You could also just instead branch up this path directly, fight these guys first, and then go deal with the hyenas that are down here. That's probably the smarter thing to do, but I like a little bit of challenge and a little bit of risk, so we're going to go ahead and just walk down here.
Didn't stand a chance.
Again, if you're not comfortable with this, because you're supposed to be, I'm supposed to be taking things slow and patient and, like, getting to the end of the game.
Creature's eyes roll back in its head, equal parts
Don't do what I'm
bliss
doing here.
and agony. Your nostrils fill with the rank smell of death. The hyena has feasted, but looking into her eyes, you know it wasn't enough. She's still hungry.
Come, see, my flesh becomes new flesh.
A handsome boy.
You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. The hyena moans softly as its body contorts, ribs cracking and flesh tearing.
Oh, he's like, he doesn't like this right now. I am going to, feel free to take your choices here. I'm going to go ahead and show mercy by ending her life swiftly.
You land a swift strike against her skull. She yelps, then goes still. Whatever horrific creature was growing inside the hyena dies along with her.
Now, the reason that I do that, honestly, is just because it makes it a little bit easier this fight, it makes this fight a little bit easier. And see, look, poor initiative roll. That thing got a head start. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I hate that this thing keeps moving. You stay over there. We're going to go ahead and start off with a Hunter's Mark. And remember to reapply it so you don't waste a spell slot. Now, we have Gloomstalker, which means we get a free attack at the start of every single combat now, which is excellent. Okay, now that those two are clear, those will pop up over there next time. That's just a personal preference of mine. So we're going to go ahead and start with Dread Ambusher ranged. Nice. Now we're at no risk of these things being triggered, which is exactly what I was hoping for.
Indeed.
Then, since these three are all down, we're just going to attack the one in the back first, because he's obviously my ranged character.
Talk to me. On I go.
Gonna have Shadowheart come up, and as usual with Shadowheart, just do what you what has the best chance of hitting with her, whatever it happens to be, whether it's Sacred Flame or Firebolt or whatever. This is a 91. That's good enough for me. Still misses. Typical Shadowheart, man. No surprise there. We'll have Quoth come back, and we're not gonna have him do Rend Vision because it's a little bit less damage. Oh, maybe I should actually... Yeah, let's do that first.
Let's go.
Well, I've already wasted her movement, but... you don't need to waste the Frenzy Charge during this fight. I mean, these three are already downed. The odds of them all getting back up are pretty slim to none, even if you miss a turn. I'm a little disappointed that she can't quite make that, but... That's alright. We'll just have her move back to here. And then we'll go to Astarion. Have him come up. He can attack, so that's good. I'll have him hit this one. And remember, with him now, we get unarmed strikes. We can also double attack with our unarmed strikes, which are great. I'm not going to waste that on this move. Now these things are all going to skip their turns.
And it won't be alone.
Now, on the second turn, he's only going to be down to one attack going forward, which is fine. We don't need to worry about it too much. Good job, Shadowheart. You did something.
What's this?
So much for the miracle of childbirth.
Boom. And make sure that you loot this. There's a lot of stuff here to grab. Sift through the viscera.
Before the blood draws more of them.
Oh, grab the hyena ears. Those are super important for the way, for safety's sake. Any hyena ears that you find, because they can be alchemized into potions of speed, which, if you remember from our second session, if I did not have potions of speed at that moment, we would not even be playing right now, because it would have been a game over. So, highly recommend you hold on to those. This does start a quest as well. Feel free to read it now if you want to, or read it later like I'm going to do. But it does start a quest that we won't be doing right this second. It's actually a pretty tough fight, so I will be saving that one until a little bit later in the game. There's a lot that I'm going to be skipping over intentionally right until we hit level 4, sometimes level 5. That is going to be one of the first things that we do at level 4, but we're not going to do it until we hit level 4 because it's just not worth risking. And then there's a ton of just food that's lying on the ground right here, so we're going to go ahead and grab all that. So now that these guys are dead and we're healed up still, we can go ahead and start this fight. We're not dealing with everything all at once, so that makes it a little bit easier.
With haste.
Going to start by getting Gale right up here. And I highly recommend you go for the guys with the bows and arrows first in this fight, because they can attack like 2 or 3 times per turn, and it's disgusting if you get hit with what they can do. Remember to always open up with that Dread Ambusher shot, which is just going to make your life a lot easier. Ooh, he survived. 2 health.
Got to move.
I'm going to get her up here as well. And we'll go ahead and... There we go. Hopefully. Nice. Alright, so that's 1 less to deal with. It's a good start. Karlach, this time I will have her Frenzy. I feel like this is warranted for this fight. And we're going to have her dash to get as close as possible and just try to get her right next to this guy. If they're set up in a way that you can get her close to both of them, great. Like, I'm going to put her in the middle as much as I can, but you want her to be able to attack him if he disengages. And also reduce the chance to hit. So now, Astarion wouldn't make it on his own. You could have him dash, but what I'm going to recommend even more is that you do Step of the Wind dash, because it's a bonus action in comparison to a full action. So he can come up here and he can still attack, which is just excellent. Of course he misses, but, you know, it's worth a shot. And remember, Karlach has resistance to physical damage, so you want her right in the front up there. And Astarion has resistance to all damage, so you want him right up in the front. When you're using Quoth, try to fly, because it gives her more movement speed 9 times out of 10. It doesn't actually give her more movement speed, but what it does do is she flies in a straight line as opposed to trying to weave around the obstacles. So she ends up moving a little bit more. I feel like she hits, Quoth hits with a much higher success rate than Shadowheart, despite a lower percentage to hit, which is silly, but I will take it. Nice. I use Piercing Shot there because I want folks to do more damage.
I got this.
That way this thing dies a little bit quicker. Now again, Reckless Attack is going to be the way that you want to go here. I have it set up so that I just attack and it automatically applies Reckless Attack. There you go. And now, because she's frenzied, we can then go ahead and have her do a Frenzied Strike and hit this one as well. And the Reckless Attack is already applied for every attack that she makes for the rest of the turn. So it does give her double the chance to be hit, which sucks. But again, she has resistance to physical damage, so it's okay. It's safe to do. Now, there's that. You can use a Kai Point if you want to. It gives you double the chance to hit because he attacks twice. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and use a regular attack.
I'll take that.
And then you want him to move up. See, critical hit does 4 damage. That's wonderful. And I like always, remember to reapply your Hunter's Mark.
Can't
Oh,
give up.
nice.
Not now.
Bye forever, pal.
See what I'm talking about? Like, much lower chance to hit for Quoth to hit, but still pulls it off. So we're going to go ahead and use a short rest there to heal up.
Wonders.
And then grab all of these hyena ears because they are excellent for what we are trying to do. You'll get a ton of speed potions out of this, which is just absolutely worth having. Most of the time, those aren't going to have anything, but I still double check just to be on the safe side, because sometimes they throw in like a pretty good item. Don't go this way. Don't go up. That you are risking triggering the tougher fight that you do not want to risk yet. It's totally possible to beat that fight at level 3. I've done it before, but it's just not worth the risk. There's some risks that are worth taking. Like, I'll take this chance because I know I can handle it. It's much more likely to die, so just don't. Why would you risk it on, you know, don't put that chance on yourself.
Dead Gnolls. Looks like someone toyed with them. Made the pain last.
Poor Buckle. Come up here, grab all these. If you're not like me and you don't want to look through every single thing, that's totally fine. But just make sure you're grabbing the hyena ears off the dead gnoll at the very minimum, okay? And all this food is going to come in handy. I know it seems kind of silly for me to be grabbing like every little piece that I come across, but the more that you have, the more extended rests that you can take. And in honor mode, an extended rest is going to cost you 80 food, and it gets hard to come by. I wouldn't even say it gets hard to come by, but it's I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. There's situations in the game where you need to take an extended rest, and if you run out of food, you don't have any way of replenishing it, and then you're just in a bad position. Most of those are far later in the game, so you can be a little lighter on it than I'm being right now, right this second, but still, might as well take advantage of it while you can and grab the easy stuff, right?
This looks like a battlefield.
Get ahead of the game.
What's that?
There's a dig site up here if you have the survival to find it. I don't know what's happening there. There we go. Just kind of lost to the animation. That was weird. Another dig site under here. I like holding on to the dyes because later on when I start getting the armor that I want, I like to decorate my characters a little bit. I wouldn't recommend wasting your time doing it right now. We don't even have enough magic items for it to be worth our time. But eventually we will. And you can make your characters look a little bit better than just like the default colors. So I like holding on to them. You feel free to sell them if that's not something that you care about. Okay, I am going to first go this way. Now this is also a pretty tough fight, the one that we're about to undertake. Totally doable at level 3. There's only one tough enemy there, so just focus on him first. And you'll see what happens when we go inside. But
What's that?
we'll head up here. Oh hey. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and loot this room. I'm not gonna go into the proper room yet. I like going in from the top, and there's a couple of reasons for that. But sometimes you can even tell what's inside the sacks by looking at the weight. But I still like to open them up and double check just to be on the safe side, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Like I said, it's more of an OCD thing for me, so don't feel like you have to do this. You can skip over this part. If you're watching later on YouTube, feel free to skip ahead to the actual fight if that's something that you want to do. I won't be offended, I promise. Yep, sorry, didn't mean to shoot that. Thought I was opening it. My bad. These do get separated as well, so like I know that I've already opened up all of these because they're a little bit lower in the order. Or is it the ones up top that I've looted? The ones up top are the ones that you've looted. You'll kind of get a feel for the way that this is organized as you go along in the game. But there's a ton of food here, which is great. If you do go through it right here, you can probably safely skip a large portion of it later. There's a couple of these spots throughout the game that it's like, if you grab all the food, you're good for a minute. This is one of them, but I'm still going to go ahead and keep doing it. A lot of weapons hidden here too, which sell for a little bit of money, which is nice. Now we can go up here. Don't forget to grab this here soul coin and the book that's hidden behind here, which is one of the funnier books in the game in my personal opinion. Ah.
So, hey, we've got this soul coin, right? Thing is, I think I can use it. My engine can, anyway. Zariel used to top me up every now and again when she wanted me to go after an especially wicked target.
Got a coin slot in your heart. In your heart, or what?
Sort of. Next time we find ourselves toe-to-toe with something we want to squash, drop a coin in. See what happens.
Now, this dialogue option in particular, if you're trying to romance Karlach or you're trying to get along with Karlach, don't tell her that it's not a good idea. Assure her that you're going to do it, whether or not you end up using it, because the soul coins, as we read in the book on soul coins, are literally souls bound to coins. So if you're trying to be a really good character, an exceptionally good character, you wouldn't want to use them.
Fuck yes. Now I just need something to sink my teeth into.
I'm going to go ahead and tell her that we're going to do it because we're going to use them. We're not going to use them right this second because they're better off saved until a little bit later in the game, in my personal opinion. I'm also starting to get pretty full up on his inventory, so we're going to take a second and send all of this stuff along to Karlach, actually, because she has the strength to hold it. I'll hold on to the books and make sure that she gets that soul coin as well. What that's going to do is it's going to increase her damage. I think it's like initially a 1d4, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up over time. Every single strike that she gets that 1d4 damage. And it lasts throughout the entirety of an extended rest. So even if you do want to use them early in the game, which I don't really recommend, but I wouldn't use it just the second because we've already taken a short rest. Use it the second you wake up when you're buffing your characters at the start of the day, and that way she'll be empowered throughout the rest of the day that you're exploring, going around doing things. But I would save them for when you know you have like a really particularly tough fight coming up. She even alludes to that when she says, you know, Zariel used to have her take one when she was going after a particularly wicked target. Well, yeah, you know, someone that's particularly powerful, you want to make sure that you're as buffed up as you can be. That's when you want to use one of those coins. Okay, and now when we go down here, we will be fighting these three. This guy right here, Anders, he's the one that you want to take out first. He has a lot of health. He's level 5. He hits like a truck. So make sure that you're focusing him down until he's dead. With any luck, you can kill him before he even makes a turn, but the odds of that happening are slimmer, so don't rely on it. Just try to knock him down first, because the other two can be taken out super easily once he's out of the picture.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
Do what you want here, but I guess spoiler warning. We know that he's actually evil. I am going to go ahead and assess him just for the funsies.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough of this charade. I know who you really are.
Enough. Enough. I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Hyenas was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
It's one of my favorite Karlach moments, is her going bananas right there. We are going to go ahead and... we only have one more rage charge already. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and use it. It's necessary for this fight. Not necessary, but it's extremely helpful for this fight. And we are going to go ahead also and use... Lacerate. I mean, can't reach. Oh, everyone's blocking her path. Wonderful. Okay, well, at the very least, we can have her go ahead and do a piercing shot. Not her best, but that's fine. Oh, now she can move. Fantastic. Thanks, game. That was silly. That's fine. At least she hit him. We're going to go ahead and do a Hunter's Mark.
Swords.
Go ahead and do... Yo, why is your ranged weapon not equipped? Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, not off to a great start here. I don't know what happened there. I must have sent it to her on accident. Shoot. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have him equip a crossbow. I hate that I have to do this and waste my action, but at least he gets the Dread Ambusher. We'll have him go around. I will start with a topple from Astarion. See, that double strike is awesome. Makes him a little bit easier for everyone to hit. And then, honestly, I'm going to use Inflict Wounds with her. Nice, exactly the amount of damage that we needed. That just made this a lot easier. She's going to come in and throw a fit. As annoying as that is, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, these two on their own are pretty easy. So now that Anders is out of the way, minus any critical misses that we get, I'm going to go ahead and use Topple again. Try and free Karlach. Alright. Now Karlach is free. There we go.
My faith will protect me.
Eat it.
Alright, have her run up, and there's one down. Can she use... Oh, is she no longer raging? Because she didn't attack, because she got... Ah, that was a waste. Dang. That's alright. Like I said, not a big deal. These two will go down pretty quickly on their own. She's missed both of her attacks. I love it. Don't need to worry about toppling at this point. We're just going to have him go up and punch her. And then we'll use, once you attack with the monk, just as a reminder, you get unarmed strike for free as a bonus action. Not for free, but it unlocks as a bonus action. So go ahead and do that. She actually has fairly high defense. Not high enough. Now, quickly.
Fuck them. Fuck Zariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
Tear it apart, Karlach. Be very careful here. Very quickly leave this building. I have seen people lose the game because of what's about to happen next, and they're not paying attention. So just run out as fast as you can. Let her do her thing. No matter what you say, she's gonna do it. So just...
Zariel's gotta stop fucking with me, you know? I'm done with it. I'm done with her. I'm free. I'm free.
She's gonna go nuts. You want to open this door and run. Just get out. Get outside. Just let her do her thing. It's going to take 10 turns for her to finally calm down. She's going to run all over that building. Everything's going to be on fire. See? She might come outside. Just let her... Yep, there she is. I've seen people lose the game because she's running around like crazy and they stand in the fire and they don't realize that they're taking damage. And it's just... It's not...
What's next?
It's not pretty. She was the only one that got hurt, so I'm not going to use a short rest yet. I'm going to use... I'll just have her drink a couple potions. Ah! See what I mean?
That ought to do it.
You good now, Karlach?
Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
Hot.
Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Engine heats up the whole system enough not to get burned. Hopefully it will hold together long enough to get tuned up. Let's move, huh? I'm running high and in the mood for a fight.
And there you go.
Hey, soldier.
Now, if you want to, you can talk to her about how she ended up with such a contraption in her chest. She'll finally open up
A
to you.
year, 10 air. The place? A sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
Go on, then. Tell him.
I'll mete out the best ones bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right?
You mentioned a boss who gave you up to Zariel. Who was it?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again.
And now that we've been in here and we've killed Anders, we can take this book. We can search all these barrels and stuff. And most importantly, well, not most importantly, one of the most important things, we can loot him. Because he has the Sword of Justice, which is an excellent weapon for Karlach at this stage in the game. I honestly, in my opinion, think it is better than the... Anyone that was with us during the session 0 knows that I screwed up, and I do that a lot. I forgot to grab the fire sword off of the boss in the helm. I think that the Sword of Justice is better than that weapon. Mirror image we'll give to Shadowheart. It does less damage, but it has a much better ability. Yeah. So we'll take... Make sure I don't give his crossbow away this time. Jordan. Take all of this stuff. And this time we'll just throw him over to like Shadowheart or something for now. There you go. And it's a +1, which means it has a better chance to hit. In my opinion, chance to hit is 9 times out of 10 superior than the amount of damage that it does. So right away we're getting +2 minimum, +1 maximum damage, and she now has Tears Protection. Now, this isn't the best weapon for a barbarian because Tears Protection does require concentration, so you're going to use it, and then the second she rages, it's going to drop, but it does give you a little bit of protection until that happens. So especially in situations like we're in right now, where she has no more rage slots, so that ability is going to just last on her person, and we might as well give it to her. Yeah, why not? There you go.
The air is ripe with magic.
+2 AC can't hurt, right? I made this recommendation that everyone should do this, and then I just never did. Get Quoth back out. I don't even know what happened to her. She might have gotten killed during that encounter with the Gnolls, and I just forgot about her. We're going to go ahead and do Speak with the Dead on this guy.
corpse regards you lifelessly.
You killed a pack of Gnolls. How?
The pact. Power.
Why would you sign a pact with the devil?
Power. Strength.
Which devil did you deal with?
Fallen. Lady Zariel.
Of course. Now, what's interesting here is the question, how did you die?
Zariel's brute destroyed me.
Zariel's brute. Who are you?
Infernal servant. So long I've forgotten why.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
He does. Gale does look handsome with white eyes. I don't disagree with that at all. So I think that's a super interesting thing to say, for him to say that Zariel's brute is the one that killed him, because if you talk to him before fighting the paladins, it kind of makes it sound like Karlach is the one that killed him. We know that's not true, but... Now, we've already used Speak with Dead for the day, so make sure that you set Recast Speak with the Dead, which is going to enable you to use that throughout the remainder of this extended rest. That is a thing that I've noticed not a lot of people know about, so just make sure you're paying attention. If you set that, and then you can cast it on this next corpse. And like I said, you notice how that guy was glowing green? Now that we've casted it the first time, anyone else that has anything interesting to say will glow green throughout the remainder of this extended rest, so we can then go in and we can just keep an eye out for that glowing corpse, so we know who to talk to going forward. How did you die?
To escape. Broken.
Where were you heading?
Anywhere. Away. Safety.
Did you get comfortable already, crazy pup? You're a good boy. Do you have any valuables?
Gold. Basement. Locked.
I recommend you speak with as many dead people as you possibly can. A lot of them have some really interesting things to say, or like good clues about what's going on around you. Where's the key?
I fell. Dropped key.
We actually already picked this up back in session 1 when we grabbed Karlach. It's like pretty close to where she was, so. Who are you?
Toll collector.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
So now we'll go back up. And remember, this is the toll house, so we might as well pop into here and check out the basement that he was talking about.
Oh, that corpse is riper than a Manaurus bog.
Glowing green corpse. We recast Speak with Dead.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Why were you in the basement?
Hiding. Frightened.
How did you die?
Goblins. Laughing. Cutting.
Were you alone when you died?
Gods abandoned me and Vance.
And who are you?
Toll collector. Martin.
And sometimes they don't really have much interesting to say at all. It happens. Go ahead and loot everything that's in here. You're either going to find food or weapons or other things to sell. But the real reason that we came down here... Well, you can loot him too. Don't forget to loot him. He has a ledger on him and some gold. Is this right here. You unlock this, and you unlock this whole basement area.
Easy. This place is
Which is fantastic. Alright, now that all the perception rolls are passed or failed. There's still a bunch. Check every corner of this room. There's so much stuff to grab, and you can get a lot of money out of this room. Don't worry about disarming these vents. They're not going to trigger. Don't worry about them. You can walk over everything. You can take everything here. You are at zero risk of
Curiosity must
triggering
be
these
satisfied.
things yet. You can do it, Gale. There we go. Hey, Potion of Animal Speaking. Nice. See? Things that are important. Things that are beneficial. Might as well grab them. All that's pretty good. All that's pretty good. We just found our first Potion of Invisibility. That's nice. Bronze ingots sell for a pretty penny. A silver ingot sell for even more. See, bronze ingots are 40 apiece. Silver is 50. It's good money. Especially this early in the game. More poisons. Poisons I recommend using in tough fights, but you don't even have to. You can completely skip them, but you can still grab them and sell them. Potion of Mind Reading, that's going to come in handy. A frumpy hat, if you're feeling kind of sassy. Oh, 275 gold. I think that's more gold than I currently have on my person right now. All this jewelry is going to sell for a lot of money. And that's just the first room. Oh, wait, I don't even think we're done. Although we might be done. Ith Bank. Another bronze ingot. And we'll check these sacks just to be on the safe side. Cool. Alright. And we can come in here. This isn't locked or anything. You're going to find 4 more vents. Again, don't worry about them. You're not going to set them off. There's nothing in this room that is going to set those off. This part's kind of a pain because you bounce around between all the different vases. I don't even think any of the vases have anything in them. I'm gonna skip over these. If they weigh 2 pounds, they probably don't have anything inside of them. You might be passing up on a little bit of gold or something if you find one, but it's probably not worth the time to check at this point. More silver ingots and bronze ingots. Whole bunch of rotten fruits and veggies. That's always fun. Water. We haven't been over water yet. Sometimes water is good to hold on to. It does have some uses in the game. Aside from just drinking water. You come across a spot on the ground that is on fire, and you aren't sure what to do, throw a carafe of water at it. It's going to break open, it's going to put out the fire. And there's other uses too. It can clean oil, it can wash away things, it can... There's a whole bunch of uses for it. It's kind of surprising.
Seems I've done something, but not enough.
There we go. Now you catch what Astarion just said right there? He said something on accident. Oh, see the click? That's a secret. And I wasn't going to bring it up yet, but thanks to Astarion, we might as well. There is a hidden door in this room that some of you might know about, and that's fine if you do. Still going to go over it for those of you that don't. So what you want to do here is you want to disconnect Gale. You want to disconnect 2 of your other characters. Karlach's already over there, so that's fine. You're going to have him sit down, and you're going to have her sit down, and then you are going to walk into this secret door.
Aye.
Now,
Better be careful not to trigger
that pressure plate is exactly what's going to trigger all of these traps that are hidden throughout here. So that is what you want to disarm. Don't step on it. And if you get a nat 1 here, I do recommend using an inspiration. It's one of the very few traps that I'm going to say use the inspiration on. I mean, the other option is to go around and disarm all of the vents beforehand, but I feel like that's just a massive waste of time. So now that that's done, we can step in here and we can finish looting in here. Okay, Great Axe +1. Excellent. No one's going to need that, but you can grab that. You can throw that on Shadowheart if you want to. I prefer to keep her with the shield. But it's going to sell it for some money, so that's nice. Even this plate is worth 30 gold. Got some nice potions.
Good find.
It's going to bounce all over the place, grabbing all this stuff. A trident, just for funsies. Why not? I do recommend grabbing this helmet. These gloves. Neither Astarion or Karlach are going to use them because they can't wear medium armor. Shadowheart already has a pair, and Gale has the Gloves of Power, so we can sell these. Some more gold right there. A necklace that I'll sell for a little bit of money. Gloves of Heroism. These are for paladins. We don't have a paladin in this party, but if you do, I recommend you throw them onto that person. I'm going to go ahead and sell them. That's it. So, we just got a ton of money. doing all that. Come back out here, make sure you group everyone back up, and then you can feel free to leave. But everything that we just collected is... We now have almost 1,000 gold and all this stuff to sell, so that's pretty damn good. I'd say that's pretty damn worth coming in here for that. I know it takes a little while, but... Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Playsober. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. And that is it for this area, I believe. Yep, we got that. We're gonna use that later once, and then we're gonna explore all this when we're level 4. You can go this way. In fact, I might go ahead and do that now, because we're not gonna need to go down here. I'm definitely not gonna have enough time to finish the rest of the Blighted Village. We don't want to go south yet. That's gonna be one of the last things that we do in Act 1. Not because it's challenging or anything. You can feel free to go down there now if you really wanted to. There's experience to be had and stuff. But it's if you're following along with me, you want the Hill Giant elixirs, and that's you're going to lose the ability to get those if you continue down that path. We're not going to do this until we're level 4. So yeah, I think I might go ahead and skip the Blighted Village for now, and we're going to go this direction and handle this event. I'll have to change the title of this to like the road to Blighted Village, but it won't actually be the Blighted Village until our next session, which is fine. Again, don't go that way. You want to stick to this bottom path. And look, glowing green corpse. I would have otherwise missed.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What were you carrying in the wagons?
Wizard shipment. Chest.
And what happened to the chest?
Rugen protected it. Took it north.
Who's Rugen?
Lucky son of a...
I like how he's so covered in blood that his beard looks pink. Where were you heading?
Tavern. Hideout. Secret.
And who is NF?
Boss. Baldur's Gate. The Guild.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Again, that is a quest that we will be handling a little bit later. We don't want to do it now because the fight beforehand is pretty tough. I know it didn't look tough when we were fighting those gnolls up there, but it gets challenging. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to stick to the left side of the path. Is it here? No. Ah, it's up here. Surprisingly, I didn't trigger the event. It's funny. Here it is. I'm going to grab this chest. Sometimes, and it happens to me all the time throughout the game, sometimes you will walk over where a chest is, all of your characters will fail the survival check, and then you're just done. You can feel free to, if you want to, go back to camp, grab one of your other people to try and find it. Sometimes it's worth doing, not always.
Majestic and malignant.
You go a lifetime without seeing
Okay,
one.
don't go down here. Alright? That is an entirely separate event situation that we do not want to deal with just yet. We do want to sneak up this way. You notice that they're talking about the red dragon. We don't want to go that way yet, okay?
Something's burning.
Grab this Waukeen's Rest waypoint. And then just head into Waukeen's Rest. I think we'll have enough time to handle this. We should have enough time to handle this throughout this this session, this current session. Now this part is going to take me a little bit. It will not probably take you that long unless you are OCD like me and want to loot everything, because there's a ton of food that you can find here. A ton. As you're moving through this area, feel free to loot all the drow. Don't loot any of the fist if you're in sight of anyone.
He of the unsleeping eyes, grant me the might to carry this burden. Grant me the faith to face darkness without fear.
What the hell's happened here?
A massacre. Drow and goblins slaughtered the lot. Please, just leave me be.
I hear shouting. Someone needs help.
Isn't that the Karlach? You can rush into this if you want to, or you can take your time. We're going to start off taking our time. This is kind of neat.
Excellent armor. Strange place to find it.
If you have a... What are they called? There's one of the background classes, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that likes creating things. They will get an inspiration for picking up that armor. And look, glowing green corpse. We're going to go ahead and do that. She did. A lot of the fists do.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you?
Zayrin.
Why were you at the inn?
Raid. Retrieval. For the absolute.
What were you trying to retrieve?
Grand. Duke. Absolute. Demands him.
Where were you trying to take the Duke?
Take to Moonrise Towers.
How did you die?
Archer. Roof. Should have seen.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
You can actually get up onto all of the roofs up here. I've never found anything of importance, so I'm not going to bother with it, but if you want to dick around, you can absolutely feel free to head up there. I'm going to...
Tempers are rising.
Damn it.
It's clear not everything you find is at your disposal.
The second I clicked it, I was like, nah, I shouldn't do this. And I did it anyways. That's fine, though. It's okay if they're a little upset with you. Just don't continue to piss them off. Nothing here. Oh, that's upstairs. So we'll grab that later. This book is also really... Nope, not that one. Is that the right one? Ah, here it is. This book is really funny if you read that later. And then might as well...
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Why were you after the Duke?
Absolute. Wants him.
Was your mission
The
successful?
corpse remains silent. It does not know.
Did you leave any survivors?
Slaves. Good. Raid.
How did you die?
Fell. Dagger. Neck. Stupid.
That one always cracks me up. Just trips and sticks himself with a dagger.
Krug. Hunter.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
There's that. Feel free to come up this way. We're going to go ahead and grab this book to read later. We're going to loot her while it's safe to do so. Grab this. Not interesting. A little bit of gold there. Steelyx, what are you doing? He's like trying to climb on top of me right now. Funny dog. Okay. So there is a gentleman in this room. Where can you... Yeah, you can see him right here. Right? And he's pinned. He's stuck underneath this wooden board right here. If you open up this door from the inside, or if you open up this door right here, bad things happen, and you are put on a timer to save his life. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you?
Farmer
Why were you at the inn?
from Eltergard. Traveling. Sister's wedding.
How did you die?
Finding husband Benrin inside. Door locked. Trapped. Fire.
Ask her if she has any valuables nearby. I know that sounds kind of selfish, but there's a reason for it.
Dowry for sister in barn.
And where is Benrin?
Inside room. Top floor.
The spell's
He's like
power
half on top of
wanes.
me right now.
You can ask no more questions.
Okay. So that's Miralith, and if you read the name of this guy, Benrin, that is her husband. So, if you're feeling pretty good, you can... This is what I recommend. Take Astarion, separate him from the group.
I'm in here.
Go back here, pull out his bow. This might take a second, take a couple shots, it's fine. There's no real rush here yet. Wait, no, not Astarion. I picked the wrong person. You want to start with Karlach.
Wanna dance?
You want both of them to be ready, but you want to start with Karlach.
I can't move. Someone help.
Clearly she was still a little too close, and that's fine. Have her rush in here, talk to him.
Fire! Hurry! Get this thing off me!
And because she has the highest strength of the group, you want to grip the wreckage and fling it aside. She automatically gets a bonus because she is a barbarian, which is nice. There is an alternative here, and I will go over that in a minute.
You did it! Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, enough of your thank yous. Get over here,
Keep your distance.
and then pull out Astarion. Are we in turn-based still? We are. Okay. Astarion's the one you want because he has warding bond. Okay.
Watch the shadows.
You want him to just try and use dash and try to steal as much as you can. It's not even stealing, it's just taking stuff. Take as much as you possibly can from this room while you have the opportunity before that fire spreads. I recommend doing this in turn-based mode. It makes it a lot easier, a lot smoother. You don't have to rush around. Oop, 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 oop. You don't have to rush around trying to beat the fire and dealing with constant damage. You get an idea of where exactly you are, and you know, it's a lot easier doing it that way. Okay, and if you really want to, you could even have him use Step of the Wind dash. I don't think that's overly necessary.
Hey, good looking.
I'm just going to end all of their turns quickly and let the fire move.
Everyone. Miri. Oh, Miri.
Get back to him. Alright, now he's going to take a little bit of damage here. There's really no way around it. I mean, you could just skip this part if you really wanted to.
How about this?
But I'm going to have him take some damage. It's fine. He will survive. What I am going to do is I'm going to have him pick up this chest instead of worrying about... Oh. That's fair. We'll take a lot of this stuff and send it over to Karlach. There you go. He's not encumbered anymore. Like I said, take your time here. You're not perpetually taking damage because we're in turn-based mode. You're only taking the damage the first time.
What are we here?
Take that carafe of water. Oh. Did he already?
One
Yes.
with the
Okay.
weave.
That fire is going to spread a little bit more. I am taking without permission. It's kind of stealing, but I mean, no one seems to care, so that's the important thing.
Tread
I can
lightly.
come over here, because otherwise it's just going to burn up, so why not take it? Put it to use. Okay, and then you can have him come back over here. Grab that, have him check this and this, and I think that's it. So we can have him go this way. And now you can probably safely turn off turn-based mode and just have him get out here. Make sure you group everyone together again.
Don't touch me.
You're going to have him drop that chest that we picked up. You're going to switch over to Gale, who is your, who can lockpick it now.
I don't think this is strictly legal.
I think I dropped that right on top of that lady. Whoops. I did too. It's literally on top of her. Oh my god. Sorry, lady. Oh, goodness. And look, another magic weapon. Now, this one's two-handed. No one can probably use it. It's not the best weapon anyways. It's not even a +1, but it does sell for money, or you can feed it to Gale. Actually, is it worth more than the Cap of Curing? It's worth less than the Cap of Curing, so I am not going to sell that. I'm going to hold on to it. And we're going to add this to wear so we can sell that instead. Okay. Oh, this poor... I feel so bad about that. Oh, man.
Miri. No. Gods, no,
Dang
no,
it.
no. You should have stayed. You should have been with me.
How did you two get separated?
I was in our room. We had a fight. If I just kept my mouth shut about that bloody dowry, she'd still be here.
This isn't on you. There's no way you could have known.
I'm sorry, Miri. I'm so sorry. Please, just go. I need a moment with her.
Alright. Just gonna leave that chest there, because... why not? Now, like I said, there is another option, an alternative option that you can choose to do right there. Once you open the door and the fire starts, you can just ignore him. You can totally choose to leave him there to burn alive. And if you do that as the Dark Urge, you get an inspiration for it. Which is messed up in and of itself. But there you go. Now you know. I'm going to come over here just to grab this thing to read. There's a burrow hole there. Goes somewhere inside. It's not super important. Gonna loot this guy. We're gonna ignore the flaming fist. We are going to speak with dead on him.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What happened to the
The
Duke?
corpse remains silent. She doesn't know.
Do you know of any survivors?
Dead or dying.
And who are you?
Gauntlet. Marilla. Flaming Fist. Baldur's Gate.
I asked her where she was from. And that's it. Okay, now, it doesn't look like you can go in here initially, but if you pull out good old Karlach, or anyone, doesn't really matter. Oop, no. Have her beat up this barrel. She'll probably break through it the fastest out of anyone. Eventually, Astarion will be way more effective at breaking things open than she will, but for now, she is your go-to. But yeah, eventually, oh man, Astarion becomes like just a king of breaking through anything that's trapped or stuck closed. Oops, I meant to split her up because there is fire in here. You don't want everyone... Your AI are kind of dumb. Sometimes they are really good about running through and trying not to run through the fire, and sometimes they will run almost intentionally, it feels like, into the fire. So just pay attention to that. Grab that letter. Oh, she's almost encumbered. That happened quick. 10, 10, 10, 10. Those are all empty. Have her bounce over here. Check these. That's an 11. Send those to camp. See what I meant about food? There's tons of it here, and this isn't even the start of it. So much foodstuffs. Lots of meats. Lots of sausages. Again, I'm not too worried about her being on fire yet. Then we're going to take her and we're going to jump up here. You can feel free to break down that door. I'm not going to. I'm going to do the story thing. And then there's a book over here. And a sack. And that's it. So we can have her jump back down. She might take a little bit of fall damage. It's fine. She'll only take 1.
Oh, I have the magic touch.
Okay. Now we're going to have everyone sneak this way. So the proper thing to do here, story-wise, is to put Will in your party and have him come this way. You don't need to, and I'm not going to, because that's not the purpose of this playthrough. So I'm going to just go ahead and step over here. Talk to these folks.
Grand Duke Ravengard could be inside. Don't just stand there. Push!
Grand Duke Ravengard?
Yes! The hero of Baldur's Gate! He could be trapped! Help us get through!
And we're going to use our strength, our terrible, terrible strength. Feel free to step back and grab Will if he's not in your party, and put him in here before you talk to these people. Like I said, it's not super necessary, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am, however, going to send Karlach in there and leave everyone else outside. Couple of reasons for that. Mostly you just don't need everyone to come with these people. And she is the one that's going to be able to break down this door faster than anyone else.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
Okay, and then you just go like this, and she'll make her own way out.
Fresh air. At last. Your boldness is a blessing. I'm in your debt.
Counselor, are you all right?
It takes more than mere fire to break me, Yuva. Now listen close, Fist. Duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Alder Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Gauntlet, report to the man and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
On your command, Counselor.
The rest of you, count the dead. Take word of their sacrifice to this city. And you, I must ask again for your aid. Please, rescue Ravengard from his drow captors. The Council will reward you for your effort. May I trust you'll see it through?
Feel free to say whatever you want here. Personally, I am going to, obviously, playing a good character this run, so I'm going to say, hey, the Drow took the Duke to Moonrise Towers.
Moonrise Towers? Along the old road? That place is cursed. Few could survive there, unless darker forces are at work. This was no random attack. The Grand Duke was their target.
Just a little bit of backstory. I'm just going to ask, who is this Duke Ravengard?
The invisible force holding Baldur's Gate together. Without him, the city's collapse is certain. I fear that may have been the intention of those who abducted him.
then I'll search for him.
Thank you. And should your courage falter, remember the Duke's generosity. Approach the towers with care. The land itself has been swallowed in shadow. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can. Fist to work.
She is pretty, I agree. Now, ultimately, your choice here doesn't really matter. I am going to go ahead and take the Jolt Shooter because it is just the slightest upgrade for Gale. But if you want to, yeah, and it's also worth the most money. I recommend not taking the Sparky points. No one can use it. It's not very good. And it is worth the least amount of money out of these three. Spell Sparkler is great if you have like a mage on your team. I recommend using that because it's an upgrade for them. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Jolt Shooter. This is a slight upgrade for Gale this early in the game, because now on his first attack he has 0 lightning charges, but then on his next attack he'll have a +1 to attack and +1 to damage. So it's a little bit of a help. Again, not the best, but it's something. It's technically an upgrade. And then we can group them up, and at this point we're going to take Astarion. Nope. We're going to take our girl Shadowheart, try and put her somewhere in the middle of the group, and we'll go ahead and use Preserve Life. That's going to bring everyone back to full health. And you see how Bless just applied to everyone? It's just another reason that I recommend buying that ring off of Volo.
Close.
And then Astarion, we're going to separate him from the group. And we're going to send him into this burning house one more time. Yo! That happened quicker than I wanted it to. Okay, try to avoid whatever the heck just exploded on me. But definitely send him in here so that he can grab all of these food stuffs right here. You'll hear Shadowheart screaming out there as you go through here because she takes damage whenever Astarion does, because of their warding bond.
Into my pocket.
Just keep an eye out and make sure he doesn't die. That's the, every so often just check his health and make sure that he's not at risk of dying. And if he is, throw him a potion or two and have him keep going. Goodness. This is burning up quickly in here. There we go. I am going to go ahead and have him drink a potion right now. Already. Damn. Give that to Shadowheart. Have him drink that.
Long way to go still.
Have her drink one as well.
How delicious.
Normally that goes a little bit smoother for me, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about those ones over there. Have him go over here. Well, that's fine. Stand out of the fire. There we go. Grab these portraits as well. They're worth some money, so might as well. There we go. Okay. Have him come over here. Goodness. It's taking way more damage than normal. There we go. Potions will also help them. It will take fire off of them if they're currently burning. So, oh geez, dude. What the heck is going on here? That's a new one. Okay, have him come in here. Goodness. Where fire is a little bit less of a risk. Alright, there we go. How's that? A little bit better? I know it's not going to be perfect because you're going to hear the fire crackling a little bit, but... So yeah, like I was saying, there's a ton of food in here. And hopefully Astarion is a little bit better at not lighting himself, there he goes, on fire. Hilarious. I don't know what his deal is today. I think that last one was just like a bottle of liquor or something got caught on fire and exploded, and it just kind of went downhill from there. Normally that doesn't happen, but when things happen, you just have to improvise. Steelyx, you are... I don't know what you're trying to do right now, but... You good? My goodness. There we go. Some roughly cut ham. I should probably check his health. He's doing okay. I'll give him another potion just to play it safe.
Whatever
And I'll
comes,
give her one
be
as
ready.
well.
Don't touch me.
I love how those healed for like almost the bare minimum. We'll grab all the veggies that are on this table right here. I think that's all that's there. Why is this fire spreading like crazy this time? What is happening right now? This is so funny. This never happens. I don't know what Astarion did to piss whatever fire god off, but... Alright, I do hear that audio glitch. If my voice sounds okay, I'm not going to restart because I think that's just the fire going nuts. It'll fix itself fairly shortly. That'll happen near fire and near water sometimes as well. See if I can reach the last few couple of things that are over here without catching on fire again. Okay. Not my most successful run through, but that's fine. We got enough. And then we'll come up here. Try and just jump over this, I suppose. Send him up the stairs. I'm fairly certain you need to grab this like off the shelf directly. Yeah, because it won't let you find it for some reason. Grab this. And then check these. Okay. Come this way. There's nothing important out here. And you can walk through this because Karlach already destroyed it. And then you can loot this room. And hopefully, even though I've said this 20 times now, nothing will happen in here. And you'll be able to get through this unscathed. But we'll see. This has been an odd run through this. So just play it safe. And then just right over here, the last couple of things. This usually does end up with me taking damage if I want to come over here for some reason. So I'm fully expecting this one. See the fire just spread right underneath my feet. That's fine. And then we'll come this way. And then we can click over here. And he will run out and link up with everyone else. And we'll be good to go.
At the ready.
Goodness. That was silly. Alright, now is everyone gone? All the fists are gone. So we can take a minute. I will crouch down. But I'll go ahead and steal from the fists that I ignored before. Not that one because she doesn't actually move. But these two you should be able to steal from now. Okay, try and jump this. We'll head over here. Come back here. Send that to camp. Oh, that reminds me. Not you, you're fine. You're about to die. You. Make sure you send all of his food that you just found back to camp so it's not just bogging up his inventory. It does start to weigh a lot after a little while, so you might as well take care of it while you can. Now we don't have to worry about food for a while, so that's good. These barrels sometimes have more things to sell in them. And there is a dig pile back here as well, so I'll hopefully find that with someone. There it is. Do. Hey, love. Thank you. I will hydrate. How's your day going over there? Now, the reason that I asked that lady what was... if she had any valuables nearby was because...
Untouched stack of hay. Mustn't be any horses around.
There's something hidden here, in the hay.
There it is.
One with the weave.
That chest. If you search the hay, you can find that. Which, this is that dowry ring that guy was looking for. Wee bowling. Nice. That sounds fun. I'm glad you got it set up. That's awesome. You can do what you want here with this ox. Personally, I don't feel like attacking an animal for no reason, so I'm going to say, hey, look at me. I'm not a monster. Try and persuade him. Calm him down.
No. You're not one of them at all. I was ready to run you through. My mistake, friend.
It's alright. What happened here?
Monsters. Little ones and taller ones. They took the shiny one. He killed many.
Did you kill the goblin in the stable?
It was screaming. waving around its metal. I made him stop screaming.
God, I love this ox. And do you know the dead ox outside?
He was the biggest. Now I'm the biggest.
Ain't that something. Now you notice that there's someone moving around in there? Don't go in there yet. I mean, you can. If you're feeling particularly feisty, you totally can. If you want to waste a detect thought scroll or potion of mind reading, you can go in there. Or we can just wait. And there's no point in going in there until we're past level 4 anyways, so I am just going to ignore it for now. What I am going to do is take a short rest
Back in my sails.
and have her take another potion. Alright, so now everyone's healed up. We have our short rest. We're going to head back to the Emerald Grove real quick to sell all of the items that we just found. I'm about running out of time. I have probably enough time to read everything, so I'm going to pop back to the Emerald Grove to sell, and that's it in Waukeen's Rest, by the way. We've pretty much done everything except for this little secret area, but you want to do this quest before you go in there. Just trust me on that one. It's beneficial to wait it out. So we're going to head to the Emerald Grove, and then we're going to snap up here, go sell some stuff, because our guys are very weighted down right now. We are carrying a lot of stuff. We have 1565, he has 0 gold. One thing I am going to do while we're here is I'm going to buy these, the Gloves of Missile Snaring. I think they're incredible. They're super underrated. They're not like endgame type of equipment. You're not going to be using them forever, but they are going to last a very long time. Why does he suddenly have so much gold? What just happened? I bought those for how much? 630, right? But now he has like over 1,000 gold. Did I buy something else on accident that I missed? I'm so confused by what just happened right there. What did I just miss? Whatever, I'll have to check the VOD for that one. That was weird. And that is, now we're up over 2,000 gold. That is fantastic. But we're not quite done. We're going to head over to Damon, just to make sure that he doesn't have anything for us. We're going to check with Auntie Ethel as well, make sure she doesn't have any more potions. She shouldn't, because we haven't had an extended rest since the last time we talked to her.
Hey, bother.
But it doesn't hurt to just double check. Yeah, she is tapped.
Take.
So then we'll go over here, we'll talk to Damon real quick, see what he has. +1, hunting shortbow. Ah, this is actually really good for Shadowheart, and I would recommend you buy it. The hunting shortbow and the safeguard shield. That's the other thing that he had. So now that he has enough money, we can go ahead and sell the rest of our wares. Look at our inventory, make sure we didn't miss anything. Looks to be good to go. Oh, I forgot to give the dowry ring back. Whoops. Alright, we'll do that in a second, too. We're going to go to Shadowheart. We are going to give her the Jolt Shooter. I know I just said that we're buying the hunting shortbow for her. We're not. We're buying it for Gale first, because he at least gets the +1 benefit from this, and he has advantage against monstrosity-type enemies, which is helpful for now. And then once, a little bit later on, we will replace his weapon, and then we'll give the hunting shortbow to Shadowheart at that time. So there you go. There's that. Have her take the safeguard shield. You could give it to Gale if you really wanted to. I prefer giving Shadowheart higher defenses for now, and that saving throw is higher defenses, because you want her to stay alive. You don't want her to suddenly be dead, because then you have no one to heal your party in the middle of combat. It's not good. So then we'll go ahead and teleport back up here, because we forgot to give the dowry ring back. Go up here and we'll talk to him. You actually don't have to do this. You can just sell the dowry ring if you really wanted to. It's worth a little bit of money. But again, I'm playing a good character, so I'm just going to do it for funsies. There we go. Hey, I found that dowry.
I know this doesn't change anything, but it helps. Thank you. I need some time alone with her to say goodbye.
That's it. Just a quest completed. Just to feel good about yourself for doing something. Ah, that's right. There's something else that we missed. Goodness. Man. I need to slow it down a little bit. You can wait and do this later on when you eventually return to the Grove, because it's not our last time that we'll be there, but I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it now. And that is talking to Arabella's parents after you save her. Don't really worry so much if your entire party's not on it. They'll relink eventually. Come up here.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a gnoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her.
And I hope we'll meet again under better circumstances.
Likewise. Arabella?
Thank you for helping me.
Okay, she gives you a magic item for that, which is pretty neat. I actually don't think it's very good. Yeah, it's just an evocation, dancing lights. You can have someone equip it if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to Shadowheart, just for funsies. But don't feel obligated to do that. So, then we're going to head back here. And then as you cross this bridge, there might be a couple items to loot. Like everything in these chests. Believe it or not, these are actually worth some money. Like 10 and 10, which is wild to me. Not all of the spoons and everything in this game are worth money. See, that one's not. That one's only worth 1. 1. That's a dagger. That's worth some money. Adventurers and goblins to loot right here. Here we go. Got a goblin drawing. You do not want to head south down that path. Don't do it yet. You do want to come this way and grab all these. You can check these guys out.
Movement on the roofs. I sense a classic ambush in the making.
And that is as far as we want to go today, because that is the Blighted Village through that archway. And I have about 30 minutes left, so we're going to stop it there, and we're going to go ahead and do our reading for the day. So at this point, for those of you just joining us, this is about the part where we quit playing through the story and we start reading through all the books that we have accumulated throughout this session, or at least as many of them as we can. We might run out. So anyone that doesn't want to stick around to hear me reading for the next 30 minutes, please feel free to head out. But thank you for spending your time with me so far. I hope you learned something. And if you'd like to join the Discord or catch this up on YouTube, absolutely, please do so you know when we're going live. We'll be on a little bit later on tonight playing Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, sailing the southeast a little bit more, and there's some videos on YouTube of that as well if you want to check that out. So in the meantime, cheers everyone that's not going to stick around, and for everyone that does want to hear what's going on in the books that we found, we'll learn a bunch of stuff. How's my water doing? There it is. Pretty good. Hi Steely boy. We're not quite done yet. Almost. Not quite. Yeah, so I'll be reading for the next 25 minutes here. Starting with A Pleasurable Deal. Now this one is, in my opinion, one of the funnier books in the game. I'm going to pan my camera down just a little bit too, that way hopefully you can see Steelyx. Come on, Steely. Come on, you want those belly rubs? So this play is well worn and tattered. It has clearly been read many, many times. This is sorry, it's not this one that's funny, but this is part of a 2-part series. The second one is really funny. This is an excerpt from the play A Pleasurable Deal, banned in no fewer than 4 cities for its lewd content. Its scandalous nature led to a number of widely distributed and illicit printing. Narrator: Come here, fair folk. A tale now lost to time. In grief, this man well sunk to depths sublime. A gift he sought to win his lady's heart. Arcambian smiled, for now the game did start. Enter Robert, male tiefling, crying. Carlyle, stage right. Flash of smoke. Carlyle: Weep not, young man. Though free your wife has fled, and comfort found in comrade's arms and bed, she licks her lips and cries his name, oh my, and now you seek to be the apple of her eye? Robert says, How does a stranger know such things, I ask? I watch you from the shadows, and I see your shame and grief for nature's malady. You seek to win your lady and her bed, to have your name upon her lips instead. You know my curse, my pain, my grief, my woe? Of you I know, you seek a larger hoe, to plough fair maid and sow a seed to grow. But lack do ye a mighty horn and mast, with which to guide a maid to bed and fast. Basically the start of a porno. A warning to the Sword Coast. This is an anti-tiefling screed printed on the cheapest paper. It doesn't seem to have been widely read. People of the Sword Coast, look around you. What do you see? A collection of gods-fearing humans, elves, and dwarves, or an infernal corruption of that divine image. Tieflings, wearing their devilish heritage for all to see, walk among us as if they didn't owe their existence and allegiance to the lords below. These hells-touched peoples have infiltrated our cities, our organizations, even our families. They can claim to be good all they wish. Would you believe the tiger who looks at you with dripping fangs if he said he ate nothing but vegetables? No, we can see their true nature, plain as day. But they are not the only evil infiltrating our world. All around I see drow, dwergar, and other creatures of the Underdark strive for acceptance. But why should you accept them when their brothers raid our countryside and steal our children? Obviously, I am not saying they should be cast out. Obviously, I am not saying we should return these delinquents to the Underdark and drive the tieflings back to the hells they came from. But be wary of these people, my friends. Be suspicious when you see them, and especially suspicious when you do not. Come on. There you go. There you go. Now we get the belly rubs. That's a good boy, Steely boy. Nothing like the racist ramblings of an old man. An old crazy man. Those of you that joined us the last session got to read the from the tieflings' perspective of, you know, why they were turned and how they were turned, and it's a really sad tale, and for this guy to basically mock them and say that they're all evil just because they have horns is pretty rough. A is for Azuth and Other Gods, Volume 2. And as we know, this is a collection of children's rhymes, but this one is about the gods Azuth, Bane, and Besheba. Azuth, the god of wizards all, who spend their whole lives learning. He grants their spells, both big and small, for Mystra, always yearning. Bane, the tyrant, the black hand, makes sure the strong do rule. He spreads his darkness throughout the land, praised by the harsh and cruel. Besheba will bring forth your doom, unless you chant her prayer. Split from Tamora in the womb, she brings bad luck to spare. And this is Volume 9, which is about Melil, Merkel, and Mystra. Melil is the Lord of Song. Pray to him for inspiration. Hear his call and sing along. Let his art be your salvation. Merkel is the Lord of Death, of hopelessness and ending things. He'll come for all at their last breath, lords and peasants, crooks and kings. Mystra, goddess of all mages, she provides and tends the weave. Revered by many through the ages, all magic we from her receive. This is an open letter on oppression and peacocks. I love this one. This one's great. Haikus with Jordan. Hey, Blanchy. What's going on, man? How you doing today? Thanks for joining, man. Didn't I see you were streaming a second ago? I was about ready to raid you, buddy. Baldur's Bash is printed in bright, bold letters on the front cover, followed by many exclamation marks. This copy is focused on letters to the editor. Written in a furious, sloping hand, this is a letter to the editor of Baldur's Bash, a tabloid notorious for its controversial articles. Dear editor, I find it despicable, nay, diabolical, that you would defend Baldur's Gate's ridiculous restrictions regarding animals within the city. No animal larger than a peacock may gain entry? How archaic! My darling Giselle is the most well-behaved bear you'll ever meet, and yet to spend time with my child, I must visit my summer home in Cormyr. I call upon the Parliament of Peers to resolve this issue immediately. The emotional and psychological well-being of the people of Baldur's Gate is at stake, and I shall take this to the highest of authorities should it not be dealt with accordingly. Right now, Giselle cries out for her father. This archaic policy has separated a child from their parent. I don't know how Grand Duke Uldur Ravengard lives with himself. Yours faithfully, Mr. R. Pickens. The Karenest of Karens. I love that one, though. He's like complaining because he can't bring his bear into the city. As per my last letter, a letter written on fine parchment with impeccable calligraphy, it smells faintly of brimstone. Though the name of the recipient is obscured, the letter appears to continue a debate of some heat. Your analysis is flawed. The hells are not so simple to understand. Boiling down 9 cosmological layers into evil but with a few more rules does generations of scholars discredit. Each layer is its own unique moral and magical ecosystem. What Zariel permits in Avernus may be blasphemy to Mammon in the chained cities of Menoris. The hells bend not only to their whim and will, but to their mere presence. The more souls they acquire, the more that combined influence spreads. Avernus itself is glorious for study. Watch a Yugoloth mercenary debate mid-battle with a Rakshasa and tell me I'm wrong. From its red, starless sky to every bloody tributary leading to the Styx, there is something to explore. Of course, getting down there in the middle of the Blood War is a bit stressful, but you can't judge what you don't know. I've gotten off topic. The point is you're wrong. Looking forward to your reply. Best, Silvira Sivakis, Sage of Candlekeep. She is one of the writers that we have read before, arguing about the knowledge that is contained within the hells. I don't know what her obsession is with that, but I think it's fascinating. Case File 846, a rough copy of a court recording written in faded ink. Baldur's Gate versus Flynn Silver. Case for prosecution. Master Silver did, with forethought and without malice, kill William Lister and Simone Simi Trent at their home as part of an ungodly ritual to honor the dead 3, or one of the dead 3, the gods Bane, Baal, or Merkel. Case for the defense. I don't know nothing about any gods. All I know is Bill and Simi were trying to cut me out of our deal and they got to what they had coming. But those symbols and stuff and how their guts was arranged, I don't know nothing. Verdict? Guilty. Sentence? Death, but commuted to banishment so as not to anger higher powers. This is the rule of 3 on extracts written by, I don't remember what his name is, the Dragonborn that we talked about during the last session. The back cover of this book proudly proclaims the most famed and comprehensive beginner's guide to all things alchemy, in a beautiful 50th anniversary edition, now with foreword by Adine Ilvar. So this is technically Volume 1. That's his name. A long-winded introduction explains that Haskin Zesalafen's notes, published as is from their work journal, have helped bring alchemy to the masses. It starts with a full history on the Dragonborn, who had been descaled as a teenager and started their alchemical research in hopes of restoring their hide. As the pages turn, it continues to wax poetic about how Zesalafin put aside their own research to help the common people. Much more interesting, though, are Zesalafin's actual research notes. I have decided I shall make all my notes, both those written and those still to come, available to those who would wish to study. You reading this text now are probably one such person. As enticing as potion making is, we shall first start with the most basic alchemical rule, the rule of 3. Most ingredients can be found throughout Faerun, however, they need to be refined to be of any use in alchemy. Doing so is simple. Just combine 3 of the same ingredients, and you will obtain an extract, which can be used to brew potions, poisons, oils, and elixirs. So remember, 3 of the same ingredients make an extract, or in rhyme form, if you like. When in doubt with alchemy, just recall the rule of 3. Thrice the same ingredient forms an extract excellent. Eyewitness account, a transcript of an interrogation stamped with the symbol of the flaming fist. Though an official document, this appears to be one of many hastily produced copies documenting the night of Elturel's descent into Avernus. Ooh, okay, I have some backstory on this afterwards. Amir. I am acting Gauntlet Amir of the Flaming Fist. Repeat what you told my people for the room to hear. Shepherd. You should be helping. Aren't you supposed to help? First, I need to know what happened. It's gone. The city, the light, the companion. I was born in its glow. Never seen real darkness before. Get a grip on yourself, man. There was no sound to begin with. The sky flickered, dark and then light again. Then the companion changed from gold to black. My farm's almost a half-day's ride from the city, but I could hear the screams. Thousands of people plunged into darkness, while the world went mad. And then, more lights, but dark lights. It makes no sense, I know. They came from the companion, wicked streaks stabbing into the city and tearing it apart. Then the sky, the ground, the buildings, they all folded in on themselves, like an invisible hand were crushing them. In the city? There is no city. Elturel is gone. When did this happen? Yesterday. I fled through the darkness until I found you. Lock him up. I've done nothing wrong. You've got to go and help them. He's the 11th we've picked up since this morning. Make copies, deliver the transcript to every Flaming Fist post from here to the Risen Road by hand. Until we know exactly what's happening out there, nobody from Elturgard goes west. And don't talk to anyone outside the Fist about this. Maintain control. So this is a report on what happened to the city of Elturel. For those of you that don't know, Elturel is where all of the tieflings that are currently in the Emerald Grove, they were in Elturel. It was a city, highly advanced city, and then for whatever reason that we haven't learned yet, the entire city literally sunk into the hells themselves. And it was a whole thing. Fables of Faerun 2, The Daring Duergar. One of a series of thin tomes illustrating simple lessons to readers of all ages. These ones are fun. These are like, these are more like the Brothers Grimm. They're literal, like, fairy tales, but like, Baldur's Gate fairy tales. In the deep city of Gracklstug lived a young Duergar named Shull, who could conjure eerie whispers in his brother's minds. Eager to develop his psionic powers and take over his clan, he asked the Godfather, who could teach him further. Cross the Dark Lake. On the south shore there is a chasm, said the Godfather. Within the chasm lives a rogue mind flayer called Ear. It will teach you all you must know. Shull's voyage was fraught with danger. He fended off aboleths and cloakers alike until he reached the mind flayer's chasm. Ear emerged from its hovel, tentacles writhing. I am here to learn, Shull told it. Very well, came the response. On the first moon's passing, Ear taught Shull how to read minds. On the second, it taught Shull how to bend them. But this was not enough for Shull. He wanted to destroy minds with a mere word. So be it, said Ear, and it bestowed a blessing on Shull. It is yours, the knowledge to shatter a single mind. But you may only speak the command once, Ear told Shull, for then it is forever forgotten. Ready to assume control of his clan, Shull returned to Gracklstug. Show me what you have learned, the Godfather told Shull. Shull grinned, spoke the command, and his own skull shattered before the Godfather's eyes. Said the Godfather, the lesson is complete. Little cute tale on be careful what you wish for, huh? Findings from the Hinterlands New Edition. This quarterly journal appears to have been recently published and rapidly passed through several hands, its front and back cover grimy and soft with use. Most of its pages have been ripped out. Esteemed reader, while this journal is no stranger to surprising news from the outermost reaches of our fair land, I must warn that this season's edition contains news some might find, in a word, shocking. It might be that the cult of the Absolute reported by our agents in Elturgard will fade like any other, but reports of alliances between Goblin and Lothsworn Drow, Troll and Duergar are a particular cause for alarm. The seriousness of the enclosed report is quite unique in our history. Prior to publication, messengers were sent to localities including Baldur's Gate, Scornabel, and Candlekeep. Let us hope these reports are received with the proper gravity for the safety of all. Sincerely, Mingus Etcherly, Editor-in-Chief. Basically like an excerpt from a newspaper that goes out right before, or right as the Cult of the Absolute starts to grow in strength. And I know story-wise we haven't learned too much about the Cult of the Absolute, but it's coming. This goblin's drawing is a childlike charcoal drawing of 3 stick figures. I really sincerely wish they drew it, because that would have been hilarious. Drawn in thick charcoal lines upon an animal's skin, this childlike portrait depicts 3 stick figures, a goblin with sparks in its hands, a square humanoid figure, and what seems to be an elf. Each of them is wearing a simple crown. And that is a story item, we can tell because it's bordered in orange, and it tells you a little bit about who is leading the goblins that are in the wilderness right now. Or hints towards them anyways. Lathander to light, Saluna to guide, Kellamvor to judge, and passage provide. This is a household prayer which is common, often handwritten and placed to bring the grace of the gods upon a household. You find these all over the place, hidden throughout the game in like houses and shacks and dwellings, wherever people live. You'll find a copy of this. Okay, I'll try and read the next 2, and that'll probably be where I need to stop for tonight. This one's good. Jake's Encyclopedia of Eels. Loosely bound, uneven pages hang out of this book. The script is uneven, and seems to be written in whatever color ink the author had to hand at the time. Forward. No one wants to read about eels, eh? You stuck-up Candlekeep gits can keep your books on magic and demons and celestial bodies. People are practical folk and they want to read practical things. Can't make a pie out of stars, can ya? No, eels is important. Right, let's get one thing straight. Giant lightning eels? Not technically eels. They look like them, sure, and everyone calls them eels, but the shape of the head, the bone structure, you can't tell me that's the same as a giant moray. Now where can you catch eels? Bloody everywhere. From Neverwinter to Elturel to Claimport, you can find an eel. But where do they breed? And how? Well, you probably heard the stories that they're just snakes that learn to swim, or they're baby leviathans, or they're Underdark spies. But that's all bunkum. They breed in the Sea of Moonshae, I'm sure, and then swim all over Faerun. And if those pricks in Candlekeep would give me the money to sail there, I'd be able to prove it. But no, they're too busy studying demon puzzle boxes and mumbling about whatever Alondo said years ago. Bet Al couldn't tie a good fishing knot for nothing. The book carries on like this for several pages before finally returning to the topic of eels. Such a ridiculous one. And then last but not least, we have Lessons for Sensible Living 4, Cities and How to Survive Them. This is a slim, cheaply constructed book. The front cover is decorated with an engraving of a grimacing man smoking a clay pipe. The first page summarizes the contents. The remaining pages clumsily elaborate on them in great detail. Chapter 1, on not going to cities. The simplest piece of advice for sensible folk is to avoid cities entirely. Good advice. Step 2, or Chapter 2, on marketplaces. People often tell me, Harrington, my fleeces and turnips are worth more in a city market than at the local village fair. Fools. To them I say, your fleeces and turnips will be robbed long before you reach the market square, and you will have only a few lumps and bruises to take home. Chapter 3, on taverns. All sensible folk enjoy draining a mug of locally produced ale in the company of their friends. But some of you may have heard tell of the extravagant taverns that populate the cities of the Sword Coast. If bawdy names like the Blushing Mermaid and the Wizard's Staff were not sufficient warning of their impropriety, let it be known that you will be robbed long before you finish your first tankard, and will only have a few lumps and bruises for company. Starting to sound familiar. Chapter 4, on sewerage. Belike you keep a pot by your bedside and cast out the leavings into a communal pit of a morn. Sensible and cleanly behavior. Many cities have dispensed with such simple methods of hygienic living, and instead the waste of the inhabitants commingles and flows through great channels beneath the very streets, a breeding ground for mucky creatures. Absolutely wild. Chapter 5, on becoming lost. Cities are far too large, and you will become lost almost immediately. A fellow once told me that Baldur's Gate is actually 3 cities in one. An outer, an inner, and an upper. I believe he thought I'd be impressed, but I simply spat in his eye and sent him on his way. Harrington Nethelin. What a lovely, lovely person. I don't even know what what to make of that. So that's going to have to be it for me tonight. I wish I could continue and read the rest of these, but I actually found way more books this session than I thought I would. Like, a lot more. That was quite the haul that we came across. So I'm excited for it. That means I can probably start the next session off reading them, and then we'll go from there. We'll then explore the blighted village proper. So everyone that's been hanging out with us so far, thank you so much for spending the time to be with us on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Steelyx over here appreciates it. I appreciate it. Steelyx, you need to get brushed. Oh my dear goodness. Can you guys see this mass of hair that is accumulating on him right now? This is what I get for bathing you, huh? That's half a dog. Like, that's disgusting. Alright, we're going to put that right there for now. Anyways, thank you again for hanging out, everyone. Really, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to give a like or a follow. If you're on YouTube, a subscription is great. Check out our past videos so you can see why we're building our characters the way that we are, and follow along from there. And I'll definitely catch you next time. Join the Discord to see when exactly we are going to be live next. You have a great, excellent evening, and we're going to go ahead and raid my buddy Blanchy. He is excellent. He does a variety of games. Some really interesting ones, and I recommend that you check him out if you get a chance, which is going to be right about meow. So, cheers. Have a great night. Thank you so much again. I'll catch you next time.